Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another video. All right, y'all, as I prepare for the UFC 261 tonight, 3 title fights on one card. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting night for MMA. As I prepare for that, I got to report some more disappointing news for boxing. As y'all know, Ryan Garcia, he was scheduled to take on Javier Fortuna for July 9th, which is probably going to be a title eliminator. So the winner is probably going to face Devin Haney if Devin Haney gets past Jorge Linares May 29th. So yeah, I was excited about that. Hardcore fans like, okay, these guys are fighting second-tier opponents. You know, they're going to graduate, and they're eventually going to mix it up, right? Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo, all these guys. Tank, right? Well, as you know, Tank, he's moving up to 140 now. Teofimo, he's fighting his mandatory. Devin Haney is really the only one got a guy locked in at 135 also. But Ryan Garcia, unfortunately, he pulls out of this fight with Javier Fortuna. He pulls out due to undisclosed reasons. I mean, he's basically said because of his health and well-being, but it's not really like something spot on. Like, you know, it's not a pulled bicep, it's not a torn bicep, it's not a positive test or anything like that. It's just him having to pull out because he needs to take care of his well-being and his health. So that kind of makes a lot of people question things on why he's pulling out. Is it mental health? Is it physical health? Is something going on behind the scenes? Like, is he not, you know, being cleared to fight yet? Is something, you know, something really wrong inside, like as far as physically? Or is it the mental pressure? Like, what's going on? You know, those are the questions I have. Like, who's telling him to call out these big names? Then at the last minute, who's going in his ear telling him to pull out of these fights? Which I'll talk about here in a minute. Let me actually report what he said. He said this on his IG. At this time, it's important to manage my health and well-being. I have decided to take some time off to focus on becoming a stronger version of myself. I hope to be back soon, and I'm looking forward to stepping back in the ring when I am my healthiest self. And he also went on some more to say that some things like he thanks his doctors, and, you know, he wants to make sure he's back and he's ready, you know, to make sure he's back in fighting shape so he can get back in the ring, you know. So he went on with that, and I don't know, man. It just seems kind of weird that he continues to call these guys out and have to pull out of fights. Like, is it really him, or is it someone behind him, or some, you know, his people in his ear telling him he's not ready for these fights? Because we can all agree that Ryan Garcia, he's one of the most popular boxers on the scene. He's definitely got the most Instagram followers. He's definitely one of the more popular stars in boxing. But when it comes down to it, is he one of the most talented boxers? Is he one of the most promising boxers to be a champion in the game? No, he's not. You know, so I feel like whoever's, you know, on his team as far as promotion-wise, you know, his trainers, his corner, they all need to find that balance for Ryan Garcia. Right now, they just need to find that balance where Ryan Garcia can say, hey, look, let my talent catch up with my fame, and then eventually, you know, we can start calling out these big names. Because Ryan Garcia, let's be honest, he's the one from the jump, from the new year after beating Luke Campbell. He was the guy that started calling all these names out. You know, he said, look, after he got done with his fight with Luke Campbell, he said, look, if I can't get the Tank fight Devin, he said it face to face with Devin, look, we can fight. You know, so he had Devin Haney on his mind. Tank was the name he had on his mind before the Luke Campbell fight. You know, he called him out on a Hot Boxing podcast with Mike Tyson, right? So that fight looked like it was going to happen sometime this year in the summer. Boom, he pulls out of that fight to try to take on Manny Pacquiao in an exhibition match, and that blows up. So once again, he's without an opponent. Then he gets settled into Javier Fortuna, right? So we think he's gonna step his game up again and fight his way to a Devin Haney fight. And no, once again he pulls out, and it's because of mental health or, you know, his well-being. So it just really makes me think that somebody behind the scenes, like, they're really not managing his career the correct way. There, some people saying, okay, let's get him back in there to make some money because he's a star. Then there's the other side saying, no, you're not ready for this because if you get exposed, your stardom could go down. You know, so there's no balance on his team from what I'm seeing. Like, they're not really balancing this kid out mentally and physically if he's feeling like he has to pull out of another fight. You know, this is a young guy. Like, he should feel youthful and active and just ready to go. You know, he should be ready to take those chances, win or lose. Just like we see these guys in MMA and these other boxers that are willing to take an L early on and learn. You know, they can't just keep on, like, protecting this kid from these young sharks out here like Javier Fortuna and so on. You know, you just can't find tailor-made guys for him and continue to make him look good that way. He has to step in there with these type of fighters, you know. And then I just want to go back and also talk about how he's been building himself up the wrong way. Like, he continues to bash guys like Tank and Devin Haney everybody, everybody bashes Devin Haney right now, which we got to give Devin Haney credit for, because Devin Haney's staying in the game. Like, no matter what people say about his belt, no matter what people say about Devin Haney and his style, or they call him boring, he continues to move on. Like, I like this kid's his mental strength. He's much stronger than these other guys right now. He continues to just do it, make his money, build his brand, and just continues to get stronger and stronger and better. Where, Ryan Garcia, he's kind of making his name off of clout chasing by calling these guys out like, well, I'll knock Tank out in 2. And then you'll bash Devin Haney and say his resume's not worth anything. He's not fighting anybody. Well, how the hell can Devin Haney fight anybody when you guys aren't giving him a fight? It's like when you go to a bank and they say you need to get credit, but you need to get a loan, but you need credit. But how can you get credit when they won't give you your first loan so you can establish credit? You know what I mean? That's kind of how it's falling for Devin Haney. So Devin Haney just needs to keep doing his thing, making the moves he's doing. Don't worry about these guys, because I feel like his mental strength is superior. And, he's been dealing with so much more. But it just seems like these guys like Ryan Garcia, when the pressure is really put on them and that their fame is almost on the line, they kind of have to back out. They just continue to build their fame by talking. And that's what Devin Haney did. Again, like I said, that's what Ryan Garcia did. That's what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney. He continued to talk about Ryan Garcia continues to talk about Devin Haney's resume and saying he's not worth anything, but you won't fight him. You go off and schedule a fight with Javier Fortuna, and you have to pull out of that fight. So I'm just upset about the whole situation. It just seems like they're not really balancing this kid's career the right way as far as catching his talent up with his fame. Hopefully whatever is wrong with him that he's not disclosing us, I hope he can get it back. I hope he can get it. I hope he can get to 100%, because I'm not bashing him at all. I'm just a little disappointed in the moves he's making right now. Scheduling fights, pulling out, calling guys out, pulling out, disappearing. That's not how you make moves in boxing. If he wants to be a star, be a star. Boxing is different. Boxing fans are really going to ride you hard for this. So I feel like if he wants to be a boxer, he just needs to find, and he wants to be famous, he needs to find a balance between the two. But yeah, guys, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do you think it's De La Hoya? Do you think it's Oscar telling him to pull out of this fight? Do you think it's his team? Do you think it's him? What do you guys think? But I just hope he's okay. Like I said, I don't wish bad on anybody. I just hope he can get back to 100% mentally, physically, whatever's wrong. But just continue to do him. Don't be bad mouthing these guys with that are making brands of their own, like Devin Haney. Devin Haney's doing his thing. So I got to give Devin Haney that credit. He's not over here breaking down or anything or pulling out of fights. He wants the big fights. They just won't give them to him. But hey, boxing's got to do better than this, man. These young kids, they got to go in there and take learning experience and L's right now. If that's what it takes. They can't be baby like this, man. I'm just really disappointed right now. But yeah, guys, let me know. Combo Breaking 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.